वेलकम एवरीवन, वेलकम टू दिस एपिसोड ऑफ निफ्टी की बात एंड मेरे साथ हैं ऑफ कोर्स मिस्टर जय ठक्कर एंड मिस्टर राजदीपक सिंह। निफ्टी की बात करें तो आज थोड़ा सेंटिमेंट रेड है, बट वी हैव सीन ऑफ कोर्स अ मैसिव मैसिव रैली इन द पास्ट फ्यू डेज, तो थोड़ा सा तो कूल ऑफ बनता भी है। हैविंग सेड दैट, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड क्या चल रहा है मार्केट में, यहाँ से क्या आउटलुक बन रहा है। जय, राज, क्या आउटलुक बन रहा है यहाँ से?
Hi everyone. Welcome to our YouTube session on market की बात, निफ्टी की बात एंड जहाँ तक मार्केट का सवाल है तो as we can see कि market is trading in red today, negative territory today. It's down by 240 points almost. And Bank Nifty is relatively outperforming the Nifty because Bank Nifty is not down by a percent or so. Nifty is down by a percent, you can say almost. And see, more importantly, I would say that it's trading below 24,800. I mean, that is where it managed to close yesterday. I mean, see, 25,000 level for this week, we show was very critical resistance. I mean, that is where we saw highest call open interest, call writing. Nifty PCR had actually fallen to 0.6. And I would say that yes, 24,800 was the next stop. On the lower side, if Nifty would have actually managed those levels, then it would have been not 24,800 to 25,000 kind of, a very, very small, narrow, range bound expiry, a weekly expiry. Next week is the monthly expiry, wherein also we have 25,000 strike as the highest call. Why? So I think that, until these levels on the upside aren't taken off, the overall trend should be negative. India VIX has been rising since this week. So that is also clearly showing or indicating that the trend is negative. The global markets also seems to have reversed now. Yesterday we saw a good amount of selling pressure in the US markets as well. And finally, to add is that we had a continuous buying from the FIIs. But then, since last couple of trading sessions, although yesterday was a buying figure, but not as much as there was a selling before day view yesterday. Okay. So that is the reason you did not see much of the, or rather you didn't see Nifty actually sustaining at the higher levels. And as soon as it reached beyond that levels of 24,900, 920, I mean, it witnessed the selling pressure and thereafter the markets fell. So now, issue, I think that, 24,800 will be the first level for above only that, you can think of a reversal from down to up or maybe sideways to up. That would be the first level. Final would be 25,000 only. I mean, beyond which you will be having almost all the confirmations about 25,000. It would be a no-brainer about 25,000. But then 24,800 would be the early signal from these levels of 24,580 where we are trading right now. Now on the lower side, 24,500. I mean, for this week, that is for today's expiry, appears to be a very critical support. I mean, till those levels are held, you can see Nifty probably, expiring between 24,500 to 24,600. Okay. Obviously, I don't see if it goes beyond 600, then also, going beyond 700. No. So at higher levels, there will be selling pressure until 24,800 levels aren't taken off. Now, below 24,500, it can go down and fill the gap. So as you can see the screen out here, 25,000 is where I've been actually talking about this support, nearly on 520 or so. And on a daily basis, you can see this. This is where we are right now, but then it's 580 or something. And you can say 550 based on the options data, because there is where we have a good amount of put writing almost to the tune of 2 crores now. Okay, but 24,600 is 3 crores and more. Hence, below 600, I mean, it's likely to touch 500. But below 500, I don't see major support, even for that matter, in the next week. So if I go and change the date and see below 500, I mean, you see, there are 61 lakhs kind of open interest on 24,500, below which you don't have much of the option build-up. It's straight away at 24,000. So if that's the case, and if it really break 24,500 now from here on, I mean, at the closings, you will see more additions in the lower strikes. But at at this current time around 12 o'clock, yes, you will see that panic coming, and then this gap. which you can see can get filled. So this is a huge gap. I mean, that's from 24,380 to 177. So this gap here could be filled. Or maybe, it can go and test the lower levels as well. You never know that. But then since the trend is negative, so these are the levels you can watch for. I mean, it's 375, but then it will be filled. So it's like 140, 150, 200, and then it comes straight away to 23,850. And 850 is a very, very critical level. We have discussed this in past as well. Why? Because of I'm not getting the right probably shapes, but yeah. So 23,800 is very critical from this point of view. Whatever, these were the support area. So ये important बन जाएगा विश्व आगे जाके. ये सब technically हुआ. From the derivative point of view, yes, I mean, see, technically you have broken this line also. Although it didn't have much of the importance because it just have two touch points. For any trend line to make, you require 2 points. You have just two only points, not more than that. So ऐसा कुछ ज्यादा important नहीं था ये. But just to say that now 24,800, 25,000 issue is a very, very critical level. I mean, till those levels are not taken off, I think you see here also. So ये जो cluster है ना 800 850 वाला ये this one ये cluster निकालेगा then you can zoom or see the market heading up. Otherwise तो seems difficult for me. Yeah, there can be some bounce backs. And that can't be ruled out. I mean, see, since Nifty has opened well and then it's just going sideways. So today, the option writers have made a very good, I would say, money because Nifty has gone sideways in this entire. I don't know. I'm not able to basically capture this in the circle part, but whatever this area you see. So today in our algo session also, if you see, we show. I've done two times, so ignore that. But in our algo sessions, if you see, then the sell option strategy like Nifty Theta strategy, which I started at 920, sold at 100 and 108 almost. So it's like 208 rupees. Nifty and expiry strategy, if you see, then it's making 8,800 also. It's sold at 109 and 99. So almost like 210, 208. And now if you see the price, then 24,600. Okay. So it's like 29 and 56. So it's like what total of say max 80 rupees. We have sold at 208, 210. So we're already in the money by 110 to 20 rupees. So the morning was a very good time to sell the options. And anyone who would have done that is making money right now. Even for that matter, if you see on our Algo, see, I will show the Bank Nifty also as well to you. So Bank Nifty slowly and steadily has been sliding down, but slowly and steadily, and because of which, and today is not the expiry. So because of which the algo of the short algo of the Bank Nifty, which is called the Bank Nifty Theta, is also making money, if you see. So it is sold at what 600 and 517, approximately 515. So you can say that 1215 premium, it has sold 54,800 call put. So these algo strategies basically help you out to trade this kind of volatile market. 1215 पे हमने volatile or sideways market 54,800, right? Now it has come down to what 507 and 485. So 500 or 500,000. Almost like 200 points is what you are gaining, which is nearly around that much of money, 45 in 450 into 200. So I think that sideways strategy, if someone still wants to do it, can do it on Nifty. If I have to show it to someone, then I show it to someone. You can go here, go to our strategy. You have this Nifty Theta strategy. And Bank Nifty Theta strategy, just go. I'll do paper trade. You can do live trade. Just submit here and it's done. Likewise, you can do Bank Nifty Theta is available. Total seven of our strategies, including the expiry strategy, is now available on our ICICI Direct platform. There were total 7 strategies. Now see here. Okay. trades will come. So here if you see 24,600 call and put have been sold 56, 57 rupees and 28, 29 rupees. As I said, approximately 75 rupees or 75 to 80. And Bank Nifty has been sold what 450 and 530. So approximately say 880, 900 rupees, 900 rupees or plus, uh, uh, 980 rupees, right? So these two strategies we will see once we complete our session on what's happening with them. So that is what the view is, Vishu. The view is negative. I will provide you the strategy for today also. But the view is negative, and these are our FNO strategies. So my view is that until we are not going beyond 24,800, 25,000 zone, markets can take some pause as it has gone up quite a lot. Okay. Yeah, Bank Nifty is relatively outperforming, but then Bank Nifty, what it can do is this. If you can see this, so Bank Nifty appeared that it will go up, but then it went up and came down again. So if you just withdraw this or continue with this, you can do something like this. So Bank Nifty can probably test 53, 54,000 on the downside, 53,554, so more 600 to 1,000 point correction. And Nifty, as I said, can test 24,200, 300 on the downside. Over to you, Raj. Over to you, Vishu.
राइट राज, क्या आउटलुक बन रहा है आपका?
So welcome everyone. But my outlook isn't much different what Jay has said. But what I can say right now that market is in some panic mode. And if you look at the broader market and the Nifty, both are behaving differently. So right now there is a lot of pressure in Nifty, but your broader market is relatively performing much better. And if I have to go by the stock specific or the sector specific, then perhaps Bank Nifty, particularly the top two heavyweights, they are bringing markets down, apart from Reliance and obviously the IT names. But it is largely your heavyweight based selling, and because of which we are witnessing pressure in the market. And I don't assume that, see, on a day before, we have seen a 10,000 crores of selling figure in a single day. जब हम लोग 1000 पॉइंट चले थे तब भी हमें इस तरीके की बैंक देखने को नहीं मिली थी जिस तरीके की वो सेलिंग आई है. Along with that, on a global front, what we have witnessed that the bond yields are spiking across the board. So that is putting some pressure in the market. So for Nifty per se, in the short to medium term, it would be quite difficult for us. So for me, what is more important, particularly for Nifty per se, as I said, 24,800 levels, and until those levels are not surpassed, I would be a bit skeptical because the next week is our settlement week also. So like हमने पिछली बार भी बात की थी कि ये last week is likely to be volatile and we might witness some selling pressure. So particularly towards the end of the week. So I wouldn't be much of a buyer until unless those levels are surpassed. But still, मेरे ख्याल से ऊपर जाकर call बेचना would be better than buying call options. It would be better if one can make a protective strategies. Now coming today, as of now, I don't think Nifty is going to sustain higher levels. सुबह अच्छा खासा थीटा टिके हुआ था. If somebody, as I said, morning में अगर किसी ने ATM का call and put मारा था, तो those premiums have come down towards 60 rupees or even below 60 at some point of time. Again, they have been rising. Last I checked is somewhere around 78 if I'm not wrong. So अगर दोबारा से मतलब I would say कि I would be going long only if Nifty is surpassing 650 odd levels. Other than that, there is a high probability that we might settle somewhere around 550 or lower. Even 500 could be the scenario. I won't be ruled out. But till 650 levels are not surpassed even from the intraday perspective, I think its market may remain weak.
Right. Right.
Jeff,
Okay.
I was audible,
Ye-
right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. राइट अच्छा मेरा एक क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा और ब्रॉडर फ्रेमवर्क पे आई थिंक है विच इज कि राइट नाउ वी आर आफ्टर दिस डिक्लाइन वी आर समवेयर अराउंड 24,500 24,600 आज से अगर हम लोग रिवाइंड करें लेट्स से करीब 6 महीने पहले व्हेन वी वर 6-8 महीने पहले व्हेन वी वर एट 26,000 लेवल्स वी हैड डिस्कशंस वेयर मार्केट डिड सीम ओवरहीटेड एंड मार्केट काफी जगह था कि वैल्यूएशंस बहुत प्रीमियम पे हैं, मार्केट्स आर रिस्की राइट नाउ एंड देन थोड़ा करेक्शन एक्सपेक्टेड है जो हमारे प्रीवियस ऑल टाइम हाई था. वी आर बेयरली आई थिंक कुछ 5% अवे फ्रॉम दैट ऑल टाइम हाई अगेन एंड वो भी जिस मोमेंटम से हम लोग वापस अभी रिकवरी आई है दैट ऑल्सो मतलब कह नहीं सकते कि वापस आ भी जाए. So do you think कि we'll again start and we are somewhere again heating up is my question.
No, Vishu. See, the last time what we have witnessed is primarily your portfolio, mid cap and small cap. Okay, they were severely heated. And what happened in the recent decline from 26,000 to let's suppose even 23,000, your portfolio was down by almost 40 to 50%. Even in this current recovery, which we have seen from, I think it was primarily driven by your heavyweights, large cap, top 10 stocks, not the rest of the pack. So that's why perhaps portfolio wise or mid cap and small cap, I won't say they are the same as we have seen 6 months back. So वहां पर अभी इतना डर नहीं है. And again, now 2 quarters are surpassed. लोगों को समझ में आ गया, थोड़ा थोड़ा तो आने ही लगा होगा कि कहां पर वाकई में गैस है और कहां पर वाकई में नंबर है. So the stocks where we are witnessing improvement in numbers. So we believe that we will see a gradual uptick in those names. But when it comes to the broader market or the entire mid cap, mid and small as a basket, I don't think we are now heated as they were in October.
Right. Jack, क्या ऐड करना चाहेंगे इसमें?
Yeah, see, so to elaborate or to add more what Rajesh said, I mean, you see the sector, right? So basically, which are the sectors which have performed, in this bounce? So it is one is very, very clear cut. It is banking. Okay, the large cap banks, few of them made also the lifetime high. Okay, or maybe all private sector banks, if you see. So I cannot comment on ICICI Bank, but then Kotak almost a lifetime high, HDFC Bank lifetime high. IndusInd, Axis did not participate in this bounce. So wherein in 26,000 high, they were also at the high levels. So your selective good names are at a higher levels. You see, IT you are seeing is not at the highest level. Okay. If you see Reliance is not at the highest level, but then Reliance has bounced back quite sharply, but not all the oil and gas. So if you see the oil and gas index, it is still significantly down from where it was when Nifty was at 26,000 level. Few of the cement names are at all-time high. Few of the chemical names are at the all-time high, but not all. If you see the SRF is at all-time high, whether it's likewise Deepak Nitrite is not. Maybe Chambal had created lifetime high already. Chemical and fertilizer, if you want to mix in the FNO space also among the large cap or the among the top 200 stocks. If you see the pharma names, then look, the divis is doing good, but Sun is down, supply is down. So few and now suddenly the MNC pharma has started to move since a week or so, but then the index is still not at lifetime high. Okay, I mean it corrected, it just came out of that falling channel. If you see metals, I mean they were where, and despite dollar index having fallen so much from 110 to 100, all the metal stocks have not gone to those levels, and barring few like JSW still outperformed, or maybe but then the rest of them are just bouncing back now and showing early signs of a reversal also. So they are not at those levels where you should be panicking. Okay, auto, if you see, I mean, where they were at 26,000 and where you see right now where Bajaj Auto and Hero at. Okay, I mean iShares is doing good, so that is at lifetime high. So if you see the divergence within the sector only, then few of the good stocks which are doing good, they are doing good, like Ashok and M&M are relatively doing better than Tata Motors. Eicher is also a mix of two-wheeler in this, so Eicher is doing relatively better than this, or maybe TVS is doing better than Hero and Bajaj, wherein they all are performing. Obviously, TVS was outperforming any which ways, but then not all are in an uptrend. Okay. So likewise, sectorally, if I find out for you, I mean, if you see the PSU banking names, right? So they all had corrected quite sharply, but now they are showing signs of recovery along with the banking pack. So BFSI is as a segment, Vishu, I think has been one of the top contributor in this upmove, BFSI. And the overall chance of BFSI continuing also is quite high. So I think that that is one sector which will continue to do better, and we need to see which other sectors can follow. I mean, like cement can follow, but that is a very cement construction of building materials. If you see in the entire Nifty, has got a very less weightage. Okay, FMCG, if you see, not all are performing. Okay, although many have bounced back quite good, quite well, I would say, but not all of them are at their lifetime high. Maybe Nestle or maybe HUL or maybe whatever. Marico did good, relatively better than others. Okay, Biocon is not among doing pharma, not doing good, but then it's sideways. So आपका market heated up नहीं है. Question of yours which you asked me at these levels also, despite just being right now you can say 1800 points down from all-time high, and that is around 5-6% as you said. तो आप हाई से 5-6% हो, मतलब इधर से आप 6% बढ़ गए तो आप हाई पे आ जाओगे, तो भी पूरा मार्केट वहां पे नहीं होगा, जिसके कारण आपको लगेगा कि इट इज टू ओवर वैल्यूड और इट्स लाइक हिटेड अप एंड इट्स लाइक यहाँ से फिर से प्रॉफिट बुकिंग आ जाए. सो फॉर दैट टू हैपन मे बी मार्केट हैज टू स्ट्रेच टू आवर कॉन्ट टारगेट. सो हमारा कॉन्ट ईयरली टारगेट था ना रिपोर्ट, इफ यू रिमेंबर, we had mentioned that 21,800 as a support and 21,750 approximately has been made a low. In our quant report के हिसाब से exact अच्छा reverse हुआ है from the standard deviation which you explained, and now it's heading towards 27,500 yearly basis पे. So वहां पे शायद आए जब हमारे टारगेट आए quant report के, तब शायद आपको लगे कि हिटेड अप हुआ है, तब शायद लगे. As of now, it's not much. As I tried to just add to what Raj said, with few more stocks example and sectoral example. So I think that way the investors should worry, but it's just that as of now, after this good rally from the lower levels of almost like what 3,000 points and more, some consolidation of profit booking can't be ruled out, right? I mean, that's what is happening.
Right. माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, आपने ऑलरेडी वैसे तो काफी सारे सेक्टर्स आप लोगों ने डिस्कस कर लिए इस कॉन्वर्सेशन में, बट इफ यू हैव टू से विच सेक्टर्स विच लेट्स से टॉप 3 सेक्टर्स आर योर फेवरेट. अभी जैसे अगर टारगेट हमारा 27,500 का है इस ईयर, तो कौन से सेक्टर्स हो सकते हैं जो इस रैली में लीड कर सकते हैं? ऑलरेडी मतलब आई थिंक वी आर हाफ वे थ्रू, तो अब बची हुई रैली में कौन से सेक्टर्स लीड कर सकते हैं?
मैंने तो जैसे बताया कि बैंकिंग can be one for sure. BFSI पूरा ही, banking, financial services, insurance and all of that. See, यहाँ पे मैं और थोड़ा elaborate करूँ why. So we all know that RBI said that we'll continuously manage or monitor, manage, maintain the liquidity in the system. So we are surplus now. So that is point one. Okay. Second is that rate cut cycle has started already, and banks have also started to cut their deposit rates. Okay, otherwise they would have not. They're taking that step. Okay, so means और भी होने वाला है. Third is that what FM took the measures going forward from this financial year FY26 in the last budget, which was very much taken positively by everyone, that until 12 lakhs you don't have any income tax. So definitely we all calculated and we discussed also that how much one will be saving going forward, and that disposable income will come where? I mean, it would be either in investments or either in buying goods, maybe white goods or probably any other, maybe FMCG or maybe auto or something like that. So that through that financing would be required, because not everyone will be saving so much. They'll be definitely saving, and then if they're saving, then they'll be wanting to utilize that 2-3 different places with the EMI option, so that You take the advantage of having 3-4 goods with EMI, right? Like that. So that financing should help the NBFCs or maybe banking as well. I mean, it happens either through credit cards, okay, and hence you have seen a turnaround in SBI cards as well, right? So either happens through credit cards or either happens through personal loans or vehicle loans, or maybe to some people, obviously, home loans as well. Okay, if the ticket size is low. Because this is just not we are talking about the metros or Mumbai specifically, it is pan India level, right? So that income tax slab is for pan India, just not for Mumbai. So वहाँ पे जहाँ पे कम भाव हो वहाँ पे तो होम लोन भी हो सकता है, right? For that chunk which has been saved. So these are the sectors which it can touch and help to grow. But then overall benefit would be for the banking, now whatever you buy. So banking and NBFC. So that is a good fundamental reason I would say from the macro point of view, not the micro point of view. Okay, so macro point of view, this could help the banking sector, and overall we have seen the strength also in the banking sector. And there are myriad other reasons. I mean, Bank Nifty and Nifty ratio, if you see, then it has actually underperformed quite a lot, and then now it has started to move higher. So that Bank Nifty ratio is also is what something which is increasing. Okay, as the numerator is increasing, it's likely to increase. So there are various factors for this sector to perform. Apart from this, which sector wherein I am confident? So I would say that cement is one space which I think that can do good going forward as well. I mean, cement's prices seems to have bottomed out and the cycle seems to have reversed. So that is one place which can do good in metals, which I think should be doing good if this way overall the DXY or the dollar index remains down, positional perspective issue. Because it has fallen in the trend overall, if has reversed in the dollar index. Historically, it has proven positive for the metals. Obviously, the economy also should prove because otherwise, if the globe is going into recession, the US bond yields are going up, Japanese bond yields are going up. So if Japan, US, China हर जगह से प्रेशर आके अगर ऐसा लग रहा है कि भाई रिसेशन आने वाला है तो मेटल्स ऊपर नहीं जाएगा, but then उसका longer term impact आएगा. So that could be one wherein you can create alpha if invested for a time horizon of more than a year or maybe two. More horizons, if you accumulate, then definitely this falling dollar should help. Is what I think historically, based on the historical trends or analysis, is what I'm saying. I don't know if the dollar itself loses its value and has got no relation or correlation thereafter with the metals, and I don't know. वो अभी guess करना is difficult for me to take that call. I don't think should be the right thing right now until unless that happens or we see that happening. So ये तीन सेक्टर जो मैंने बताया, अदरवाइज थोड़े थोड़े स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक मूव होते रहेंगे हर सेक्टर में भी. आप डीबी देखो परफॉर्म करेगा फार्मा में, क्या पूरा फार्मा करेगा आई डोंट, राइट, क्या पूरा एफएमसीजी करेगा आई डोंट नो. ओके, सो पूरा एफएमसीजी शायद ना भी करे, ओके, कुछ कुछ करे. सो दैट्स हाउ इट्स गोइंग टू बी. आई मीन इट्स गोइंग टू बी वेरी स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक बट सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक. बैंकिंग सीम्स वेरी क्लियर. metals could be for the one who are aggressive investors. I would put it that way, having a time horizon of more than a year or two.
Just one thing to add here. See, from Nifty to take that sort of level around 27,000, we need the repetition of what happened since April 15th to May 15th, when FIs have turned significant buyers. So they have poured somewhere around 50,000 crores in Indian market. And that was the reason we have seen Nifty में जो बड़ा परफॉर्मेंस आया. आपकी बात को आगे रख के अगर मैं देखता हूं तो निफ्टी के जो टॉप 3 स्टॉक्स हैं, एचडीएफसी बैंक, आईसीआईसीआई बैंक, रिलायंस, these 3 were the top performer or the top gainers when it comes to flows. So going ahead also, if you are expecting that Nifty will move to that high in this year, then perhaps we will need the same sort of flows in other names, these names only. So that would be, as you said, particularly for the large cap names, because there are two things. One, whether we are looking from the market perspective or we are looking from the Nifty perspective. So for Nifty, the performance of in Nifty, they will take the lead. So just like right now, what we are witnessing, your mid cap and small cap, they are making day high, Nifty is making day low. So when Nifty has moved, Nifty will move higher. It might be just reverse. and we will see only those heavyweights name are moving higher, and your mid cap and small cap may or may not perform. So for me, if I have to pick any sector, so that will depend on two things: whether I'm looking for the Nifty or I'm looking from the broader market perspective. So when it comes to Nifty, I will focus on those top 5 names. When it comes to your broader market, perhaps along with the banking, as you mentioned, कि उसका किस तरह का weight and सारी चीजें. Perhaps I will also focus on capital goods name, where we have seen continuous order inflows and other things. So perhaps capital goods along with the banking, that could be the major performer in the days to come, in case Nifty moves higher.
Okay, my next question is of course the main question, which is कि अब इस week के लिए क्या strategy रहेगी हमारी आने वाले week के लिए?
ओके,
तो जय ने
मैंने
बिल्कुल क्लियर
आने वाले वीक का डेट चेंज किया है. हाँ, कौन सी?
नहीं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ जय ने
कौन सी
क्लियरली
strategy?
बोला है 24,800 जो है जब तक नहीं निकलता तब तक मार्केट कंसोलिडेशन से मार्जिनली नेगेटिव बायस में ही खेलना चाहिए. जय प्लीज.
So Vishu, this if you can see 29th May is what I've put up here. So we have the option prices for 29th May, that is the next week, which is the monthly expiry. I think, see, we are trading at 24,500 right now. Below that, as I had shown, that below 24,500 you don't have major hopes. I mean, at least from the closing perspective, if you see, abhi hope chale gaya hai, but just for the simplicity, 24,500 is what I've taken. So below that, आपका कोई major swing नहीं है. So I would like to go with that. Till 24,800 levels are not taken off on a closing basis. मैं bearish stance लेना चाहूंगा, and I would go with, I would recommend something like that only. So there could be couple of strategies which one can focus on. Issue here, if you see, so 24,000. Just a second. Yeah, here we go. So 24,500 put option. If you see right now, the out of the money put option is trading at 163 right now. Okay. One can buy this, and against that, one can sell, say, 22,200 put option at 75 rupees. So you're buying at 167 and you're selling at 75. So I'll just calculate for you. If you're buying 24,500 put of 29th May next week at 167 and selling 24,200 at 75, your total outflow would be 92 points. Okay, and total, that could be the maximum loss. Okay, so if you want in terms of money, then it would be 6,900 rupees. In terms of points, it would be 92 points. The difference between 24,500 and 24,200 is of 300 points. So the net profit would be 208 points. Divided by 92, so it would be 1:2.26, kind of a risk reward, which is a good risk reward. Okay, 1:2 and higher risk reward is always a good risk reward in the strategy which you are getting. So selling one makes sense because it reduces your risk as well as it reduces what do you say, the probability of going wrong. Because what happens is, basically, suppose even if the market falls just not to 24,200 but to 24,400 only, and if it closes at 24,400, so what happens, Vishnu, is that reducing risk is in a way that way only, that increases the probability of success also. That suppose if the expiry happens at 24,400, had you just bought at 167, your break even would be 24,500 minus 167. So that would be your break even if you were bought plain vanilla. That is below 333 only you'll start gaining money. But what happened is, since your cost is now just 92, so 24,500 minus 92 is 24,408. So even if the market closes at 24,408 on the expiry at 400, still you will be making 8 points. So it's just not reducing risk, but then also probability of success is higher because your break even now is 408 and not 333. You start making money because you always have a view, but how far the view plays out, or 50% it plays out and 50% doesn't. 50% plays out means, it just goes until 350. So like at 550, you took a bearish call, it went till 350, but still you are not making money. So sometimes when you think that the pace or the momentum will be slow, that time you can have this kind of hedge strategies which reduces the risk and probably help you to make money. At point of time wherein the time to achieve your target or the probability of achieving your target is very quick or fast. I mean, that depends on the gamma. So that point of time, you need not hedge. So now, if from here on, if 25,000 levels gets taken off any point of time, so that point of time, you may not require to be hedged. You can just take a plain vanilla and probably, you can make quick gains. And this point of time, I would say that since we have not closed below 500, we're still above 500. So probably hedging makes sense. Now, if you ask me whether I should be selling two overnight positions, do not sell one is to two. Probably intraday during the daytime or expiry time you can. So my view is bearish. I've given you 1 is to 2.26 kind of a risk reward kind of a strategy, bear put strategy, which is like in sync with the view which we have.
Absolutely. राज कुछ ऐड करेंगे इसमें?
बस एक चीज को ऐड करूंगा कि यहाँ पर करंटली आवर IBC is somewhere around 17.8 and despite the up move we haven't seen that sort of decline in IB. So what I believe that if someone is expecting more of a range bound bias, so perhaps still your data points are not suggesting the same. We will see that volatility. And last time also you asked me the same thing. तब हम लोगों ने यही बात किया था कि अगर तब हम लोगों ने 24,700 का कॉल पुट अप जो हम लोग बात कर रहे थे 700 का, ठीक है, और बिल्कुल, और ये भी बोला था कि 3 बजे के आसपास हमें करना चाहिए, 25 से 100 के ऊपर नहीं लग, तो वो चीज जो है अब जाकर फ्रूटफुल हो रही है. बट पिछली बार हमारे पास वोलाटिलिटी डिक्लाइनिंग ट्रेंड था, लग रहा था ज्यादा नहीं बढ़ेगा, और हमने इस वीक में डिस्पाइट द वोलाटिलिटी वी वर एबल टू रिमेन लार्जली लास्ट वीक, मतलब एक्सपायरी वाले दिन के मूव छोड़ दो तो वी हैव बीन लार्जली कंसोलिडेटेड. वी हैवंट सीन दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ मूव ऑन इन एनी डायरेक्शन. नाउ विद द IB मूविंग टुवर्ड्स 18 लेवल्स वंस अगेन, आई एम नॉट श्योर वेदर वी विल बी इन a small range. So perhaps either we are going to breach 24,200 mark. That is something we have to take a call कि हाँ क्या मैं 24,200 which is a very very strong support उसके नीचे आ रहा हूँ. So which somehow I believe might be a possibility. 24,200 level की retesting हो सकती है. तो जो जय ने बोला उसमें बस अगर हम लोग लैडर बनाते हैं instead of ratio, I think that would be better, क्योंकि in case बड़ा जर्क आता है तो वो हमारे डबल कॉल की वजह से, डबल पुट की वजह से थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लमेटिक हो सकता है. बट अदरवाइज इट्स मोर अबाउट द बेयर रेशियो स्प्लिट व्हिच वी शुड बी लुकिंग एट.
Absolutely. Great. So I think that was it for today. Thank you so much, Raj and Jay, for lending in your insights. We'll be back next week, same time. And of course, when we say same time, please do make sure that you are aware that this is a recorded session and it is not live. So आप जब ट्रेड्स लें, स्ट्रैटेजीज लें, तो अपने लेवल्स वगैरह एक बार फिर चेक कर लीजिए. दिस इज मोर फॉर एजुकेशनल पर्पस कि कैसे आप स्ट्रैटेजीज बना सकते हैं रादर देन वहीं पे खड़े खड़े ट्रेड करने के. Right. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back. If you have any questions, please do put them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.